In a bold but baffling move, Disney is once again stirring the cultural pot, greenlighting a highly modernized remake of the beloved classic Snow White. Despite major brand backlashes hitting companies like Bud Light and Nike, the entertainment giant appears unfazed, charging forward with its latest ultra-woke reimagining.
1937 is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
In a result that surprised absolutely no one, Disney's big-budget Snow White reboot has flopped spectacularly at the box office, raking in just $48 million on its opening weekend, despite a staggering $240 million production budget. And it's not just the numbers that are dismal. Viewer reviews paint a grim picture: a lowly 2.4 out of 10 on IMDb, a 43% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and a brutal 1-star rating from The Guardian. One moviegoer summed it up best, snapping a photo of a nearly empty theater during a screening. The message is clear: audiences just aren't buying what Disney's selling.
While enjoying the vibe and excitement of the streets of London.
Hey, what?
Three of the most beautiful.
Despite the mounting signs of disaster, lead actress Rachel Zegler appeared unfazed, confidently predicting long lines and packed theaters for the film. But as the empty seats rolled in, it became clear the hype wasn't matching reality.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Frustration has reached a boiling point, with commentators now placing the blame for the movie's collapse directly on Rachel Zegler. From tone-deaf interviews to controversial takes, many argue her off-screen persona played a major role in driving audiences away.
We can start out with the creative bankruptcy of remaking another animated classic instead of making something new, but yes, it's all Rachel Zegler and her behavior. And if it was just one comment, it probably would have been forgotten by now. But it was comment after comment, and it was pissing off everybody, pissing off old Disney fans, pissing off new Disney fans, pissing off Trump supporters, pissing off all of America. And it became such a disaster that they had to shut her up, which was the smartest move they made. But the onus is all on her and Disney's reaction to it. And quite frankly, if she has said nothing, her movie, probably still forgettable, would have done a lot better.
And the criticism may not be misplaced. Rachel Zegler ignited a firestorm after publicly condemning Trump supporters, a move that likely alienated a massive chunk of potential viewers. In a jaw-dropping statement, she declared, "May Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace." But she didn't stop there. Zegler doubled down, insisting she deserves to be compensated for every single stream of the film, further fueling the backlash.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Political commentator Michael Knowles didn't hold back, torching the Snow White remake and declaring that every single change from the original was for the worse. His take echoed the growing sentiment that Disney's attempt to modernize the classic has only stripped it of its charm.
Snow White is the first American feature-length animated movie, 1937. It's one of the most beloved movies of all time. Even if Disney had not fallen prey to wokeness and nonsense in recent years, even if Disney still had the most talented people in the world working with the best writers, with a good sense of narrative and the cultural moment, even if everything worked perfectly, it would have been almost impossible for this movie to succeed because you're comparing it to one of the most beloved films of all time and a truly groundbreaking movie. And Disney was not sending its best. I sat through the whole thing. I don't want to say it was the worst movie I've ever seen. It wasn't. But every way that the movie changed the story from the original, the 1937 movie, or even from the original Grimm Brothers fairy tale, every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse. This was really bad. It was extremely leftist on every political dimension: racial politics, sexual politics, class politics, regime politics. Its narrative was cowardly.
Douglas Murray didn't mince words either, flatly calling the film a stinker. He criticized Disney for sidelining Rachel Zegler, speculating that internal research likely showed her public perception had turned enormously negative. Murray also questioned the logic behind rewriting a beloved tale just to push a modern message. If it's really about empowerment and independence, then write a new story. Why hijack Snow White only to gut everything people loved about it? He joked about heading to Hollywood himself to fix what he sees as a broken system. We need to get in there and straighten that place out.
Disney seem to know that they've got another stinker of a movie here. Disney has had a terrible run of it because it's still as a studio trying to pump out the sort of material which might have been briefly thought to be a good idea in, I don't know, the summer of 2020.
If you've ever trusted a first reaction by anybody in the media, please go look at the list of names of people who hyped this up as a good movie and make sure you never take their opinions seriously ever again.
The movie has a major identity crisis.
This is just so typical of the left. The progressives always finding a way to find their way back to doing something not progressive.
I sat through the whole thing. This was really bad. It was extremely leftist on every political dimension: racial politics, sexual politics, class politics, regime politics. Its narrative was cowardly. It was just awful.
The movie is doing catastrophically. They spent $300 million and it currently has a 2.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb.
What was supposed to be a family-friendly blockbuster turned into a total ghost town. Disney's reimagined Snow White didn't just stumble, it face-planted. Opening weekend, crickets. No excited kids in princess dresses, no packed theaters, just echoes in empty seats. Despite a massive $240 million budget, the film only managed to scrape together $87.3 million, well below the $150 million mark needed to break even. And with marketing included, experts say losses could climb north of $150 million. To what went wrong? According to critics and fans alike, Rachel Zegler's off-screen attitude played a major role. Her public disses of the original story, her blunt political outbursts, and an overall woke and rude vibe alienated core audiences. One fed-up dad summed it up best: "My daughter wanted songs, not lectures." The feminist overhaul didn't resonate either. Many parents felt the movie stripped away the heart and fun of the original. Dads felt sidelined. Moms missed the magic. And the kids, not even interested. Dwarf merchandise sat untouched. Even Disney's own numbers revealed a massive 60% drop in family attendance compared to past remakes like Cinderella. Insiders are calling this a nightmare scenario. Hollywood whispers say Disney execs are panicking. Layoffs could be on the horizon and upcoming remakes are reportedly being put on hold. The studio's stock even took a 3% dip right after the premiere. One casting source didn't mince words. Zegler's talented, but she's box office poison right now. Rumors are flying that she's been quietly dropped from future Hunger Games appearances, though nothing's confirmed yet online. She's become a meme, the fairy tale flopper, and fans aren't holding back. From gutted storylines to uninspired songs and the messy handling of iconic characters, audiences are fed up. Disney handed Zegler a classic, and many feel she stomped on it. This wasn't just a flop, it was a warning, a wake-up call. Fans are furious, trust is broken, and the magic is fading fast. So here's the big question: could Disney have saved this? Or was it doomed the second it turned into a lecture instead of a legend? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another hot take.